What's up, my fellow fishing fanatics? Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for everything that swims. Today, friends, we're diving deep into the fishing forecast for a truly special day, January 1st, 2026. And let me tell you, this New Year's Day is shaping up to be absolutely cracking for those of us who love to cast a line. Why? Well, we've got an energetic, waxing gibbous moon building up to a full moon right around the corner, coupled with classic Australian summer conditions. This combination often leads to some seriously aggressive feeding, but it can also make our finned friends a little bit unpredictable. Stick with me, and we'll break down exactly how to turn these cosmic forces and summer vibes to your advantage. First up, for those chasing serious action, let's talk about the incredible yellowtail kingfish. These thugs of the sea are absolutely fired up this time of year. With water temperatures around a beautiful 21 to 23 degrees Celsius in places like Sydney, the kings are pushing right into the inshore reefs, headlands, and even into the harbours. Look for structure. Friends, pylons, marker buoys, and rocky outcrops are all prime real estate. My top tip for this week: live bait is king. Spend the time to gather some fresh squid. On some days, catching the bait is the hardest part, but it's worth its weight in gold. Rig one up on a strong 100 hook with a heavy leader, at least 60-pound test, because these fish do not play fair. If you're into lures, big poppers and stick baits worked aggressively across the surface at dawn, and dusk will get their attention. The building moon means the morning bite should be electric, but as we approach the full moon, don't neglect those afternoon sessions, especially on the tide change. Next, let's target the mighty flathead. Summer is a brilliant time to chase these lizards, especially in the estuaries and sheltered bays. They'll be moving on to the sandy drop-offs and the edges of weed beds, sunning themselves and waiting for an easy meal. Your game plan should be to drift. Find a sandy bottom in about 3 to 5 meters of water adjacent to some seagrass. Soft plastics are your weapon of choice here. A 5-inch jerk shad in a natural baitfish color is my go-to. Cast it up current and let it bounce along the bottom. The key is a slow, methodical retrieve. The bite is often just a subtle tick, so be ready to strike. For the bait fishers, a live prawn or a strip of mullet on a running sinker rig is just deadly. Let the fish take the bait for a few seconds before you set the hook. This is a perfect, relaxing way to fish midweek when the weather is a bit more settled. And for our friends in Northern Australia or those planning a trip up north, the Barramundi are on. January, being the wet season, means these iconic sport fish are spawning in estuaries and coastal waters, often migrating from freshwater to saltwater. The best barra fishing in the top end this time of year is usually in the mangrove creeks and estuaries, like those in Darwin Harbour, especially during breaks in the monsoonal rains. They'll be feeding on juvenile prawns, so prawn imitations or small baitfish lures are your best bet. Down south, particularly around Melbourne, the King George whiting are abundant and absolutely loving the warmer waters, which are around 20 degrees Celsius. They'll be thriving in shallower sandy areas and tidal flats. Tiny peeled prawns, pippies, or small worms fished on light gear are incredibly effective. A light paternoster rig or a running sinker rig with a small long shank hook will do the trick. Now let's break down the conditions for January 1st, 2026. Across Australia, we're looking at comfortable summer temperatures, generally ranging from lows of 19 degrees Celsius to highs of 29 degrees Celsius. In Sydney, expect a daytime maximum of around 26 degrees Celsius, dropping to 19 degrees Celsius at night. Melbourne will see a low of 15 degrees Celsius and a high of 26 degrees Celsius. For New Year's Day itself, the forecast is looking stable with 0 millimeters of rain predicted for much of the country, including Melbourne and Australia generally. However, remember that January is typically a rainy month in some areas, especially Queensland, which can experience heavy rainfall, so always check local forecasts. Average wind speeds in Melbourne will be around 21 kilometers per hour. Be mindful that summer offshore winds can sometimes concentrate fish near structure. Atmospheric pressure might dip a little around today, being a Thursday, which can sometimes slow things down, but the consistently warm water temperatures will keep fish metabolism high, ensuring they're still on the lookout for a feed. Speaking of water temperature, it's high and consistently warm across many areas. Sydney will see averages around 21 to 23 degrees Celsius. Melbourne is sitting comfortably at about 20 degrees Celsius. Further north, in places like Cairns, water temperatures can soar to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 30 degrees Celsius. These warm conditions are fantastic, keeping fish active and feeding, though they might seek deeper, cooler water during the hottest parts of the day, or be more active during low-light periods. Finally, the moon phase. Today, January 1st, 2026, we have a prominent waxing gibbous moon, 95 to 96% illuminated and about 12 days old. This moon is building energetically towards a full moon on January 3rd. In my experience, a building moon often stirs up bigger tides and more water movement, which in turn brings bait to the surface and excites predators. This can create some truly epic bite windows, but be warned, they can be short and sharp, so you have to be on the water when it happens. Overall, I'm giving New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026, a good to excellent West bite rating. While the summer heat and building moon might make the fish a little capricious at times, the warm water and increased bait activity will keep them hungry and on the move. Your success will come from being prepared, adapting your tactics, and knowing where to look. So whether you're welcoming the new year by the water or heading out later this week, I wish you all the very best of luck. May your lines be tight and your coolers be full. Tight lines, everyone, and may you have no tails and no scales. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another forecast. And tell me in the comments below, what are your fishing plans for the new year? What are you hoping to catch? I'd love to hear your thoughts and observations.